Hi everyone, and I hope you all are doing well. I am Parul. I am a kids yoga teacher, and I've been teaching yoga to kids for the last 7 years, and I love teaching yoga to kids. And today I want to share with all of you behavior management techniques, how to have a control and manageable class with kids that's within boundaries and but still fun. So, of course, this is very relevant for anyone who work with kids and not only yoga teachers. It can be relevant for anyone in the school setting. If you're a teacher working with kids, I feel these tips can be relevant. It can be relevant for parents or anyone who is working with kids, the dance teacher, music teacher, art and craft teacher, fitness teacher. So, I hope these will be useful for anyone who is working with kids. So, I have three tips that I want to share with all of you today. The first one is rule number one: don't talk to the walls. What it means is that, so it's very important, when you are with kids to get their attention first, because if you start speaking without taking their attention, they might not take you seriously and they would just think that, okay, you're just speaking for the sake of speaking. So, in order for your voice to be heard, it's very important to get their attention first. So don't talk to the walls. That's what I meant. So how do you manage that in a class? So you can use a few techniques and or few props for that. So maybe you can use musical instrument or a bell or singing bowl. So just ringing the bell, so they know that this is something that actually is telling them to resume the class or to start the class. So even during the class, if you feel their attention, they are distracted, you can use this prop to get their attention back. So I use it when I see kids coming in and they're running around. I would just ring the bell or do my singing bowl, or even during the class when I feel they're distracted, and this works sometimes. Yeah, so you can use musical instrument, bell, or singing bowl to get the attention, to for the kids, so to get the attention before you start telling them anything important, anything that's relevant for the class. Yeah, you can also clap. Sometimes clap works, so you can clap like just simple clap, or you can just clap like. So it's a message for them that, okay, you want their attention. So you can tell them, that at the beginning of the class, that, okay, if I use my musical instrument, I'm trying to get your attention. If I'm clapping it in this way, that means that get your attention for the class. So these are a few techniques that you can use to get the attention of the kids. You can sing. So for younger kids, you can sing to get their attention. So, like, okay, you can just be creative. My voice is not that great, but it's like, okay, time to sit on the yoga mat and let's start the class. Time to sit on the yoga mat and let's start the class. You can get more creative. This is just impromptu coming to my mind, but you can just sing, and sometimes kids listen to singing more than shouting. So sing for the class and get their attention back. And the fourth one, to get the attention, what I use sometimes for the older kids is that, uh, if I see the kids have just come in the class, and a lot of time it happens that they are very good friends, and they like to chat. When they come in the class, they want to chat. So if I tell them that time, okay, kids, let's start yoga, it might not happen and they might ignore me. So what I do is I just give them what they want in boundaries. I will tell them, okay, why don't you just sit on the yoga mat and just talk to each other for 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes we would start our class, and after that you would just listen to what we are here for, what we're here for, yoga. Or we I would just start some, or I will just share, ask them to share their views on some topics, or how are they feeling. So I will just give them anything to talk to, because that's what they want to do. They want to talk. So let them do that for 5 minutes in boundaries, and then I would share with them what I have planned. So get their attention first before you start the yoga class, before you share anything important that's relevant for the class. So my rule number two that I use to run my classes smoothly is to set simple rules at the beginning of the class. So that always works, because kids are already aware of that these are the boundaries that they have to be, when they are in the class. So every teacher can have their own set of rules depending on what their personality is, depending on what's really important for them and what they're comfortable with. So usually what I would do is, I would, at the beginning of the class, I would say, for younger kids, I will tell them, stay on the mat, like put a glue on the mat, and don't move from the mat unless it's really required, or we are doing an activity that requires you to go out of the mat. So that's one thing that I would tell them at the beginning of the class. I will tell them again for yeah. So the second thing I would tell them is, like, if I feel that the kids are too chatty in the class, they have lots to share, then I would tell them that raise your hand if you have something really important for, if you have something important that you want to share, or maybe if it is not very important right now, you can tell me at the end of the class. And in that way you are encouraging them to share what they want to share in a positive way, and you are able to still control and run the class smoothly, and you are not spending too much time in, basically, in somebody who is really chatty and somebody who really wants to share, but you're able to focus on the whole class, and you can run the class smoothly in the way you have planned it, right? The third rule that I tell kids is to respect. I think respect covers a lots of things. Respect can be, just being respectful to yourself, so being kind to yourself when you are doing a class. Don't do anything that hurts you. Just be kind to yourself, respect the boundaries of your body, respect others. So if kids are doing meditation, and if one of the kid is not in the mood to do meditation, I would tell them respect other people's choice. So don't disturb them. If you are not interested in doing meditation today, maybe you can just sit quietly on the mat. So you are giving them a choice to basically do what they want to do that day, but they respect the boundaries of other kids. So respect is something that I would always. It's very important, I feel, in the class. Also, non-violence, kindness, no pushing, no abusive languages, no harsh words. So I think respect covers a lots of basically aspects. And obviously, I always tell them, try your best to stay in the present moment and just make the best use of your time and effort. So the rules can differ for the teachers, and I try to remind these kids every time we meet, till I feel that this has come in their habit, like they follow it by default. So I would always check with them, okay, do you still remember the rules of the class? And this also helps me to run the class really smoothly. So that is my rule number two: rules and boundary setting at the beginning of the class, and if it is required, you can remind them in the middle of the class as well. So this is helpful in running the classes smoothly as well. Rules and boundary setting. So, rule number three that I follow to run my classes smoothly is to not take too many breaks in the class, because I feel just one break for a 1 hour class is good enough. So I would ask kids at the beginning of the class, if they want to drink water, if they want to go washroom, they can do that. And within the class, I would just take one break unless it's really required. Of course, if it is really urgent, we can always take one break. But by rule, I tell kids that we'll take one break during the class where you can drink water, or if you really urgently want to go washroom, you can do that. Because every time I feel that we take break in the class, we are basically starting from the scratch on kids energy level. So too many breaks might distract kids attention. So simple rule that I follow is that just taking one break within for a class of 45 to 1 hour, and I think that's enough, and that helps me to run the classes smoothly as well. So I hope these tips will be useful for you to run your class in a controlled and manageable way. And I think once you get the attention of the kids, once you see that kids are following some simple basic rules, and keep your rules really simple. Don't complicate the rules, and keep like few rules, so that so that they can remember. And just taking few breaks, I've always experienced that has helped me in the last 7 years to run the class smoothly. And we can do lots of fun activities also. So the classes are fun, but it is manageable and so my classes are always fun, but they are in limits. They are within limits, and they are always, I feel that I have the attention of the kids, and they are managed in a more positive way. So thank you so much. And if you have more questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me on my email ID, parul@blissyogakids.com.